Hello everybody, Charlie's Cards here. I bring to the table tonight a really fun video for me. I've been told that everybody loves a good story, so I thought I'd bring a story that meant a lot to me, and that's the best story to tell, the ones that mean the most to you. The ones that have changed the way you look at life. But first, I thought this was an kind of an eerie card. All right, so Matt Chapman goes down, injuries. They sign Jake Lamb. And this is I was looking through some of my cards, and Gypsy Queen, 2019 Gypsy Queen. Look in the background of Jake Lamb. In an ironic, in an unusual picture, they draw him. I guess these are drawn or some kind of photo, whatever. But he's sitting in the Oakland A's dugout. Now he is our third baseman. They got him from the Arizona Diamondbacks when the Arizona Diamondbacks released him. And I thought that was rather unusual. Jake Lamb in the Oakland A's, documented on a baseball card. But now, I get to bring you my favorite baseball collection, Reginald Martinez Jackson. We all know him as Reggie Jackson. So I have some of his different leaflets. This is when he was going to be appearing at Bailey's in Las Vegas. So this is a leaflet from the casino. I don't know if you've ever seen these stars, but I know the Michael Jordan stars are blowing up. So these are all stars that are still connected, and they're all of Reginald Martinez Jackson. So as we look through some of these, I'm going to share a whole bunch of information with you, and then we'll start going through some of my better cards, starting with his rookie card and working all the way up. We'll see how many we can get in 20 minutes, if we can even capture all this. He's got quite a history, so there's one, 1973 American League MVP. So Reginald Martinez Jackson played 21 seasons with Major League Baseball. He played for Kansas City, of course, future of Oakland Athletics. So he played Kansas City and Oakland with the A's. Baltimore. He played for New York, and he played for California. He was number 9 and number 44. He was 44 with the LA Angels, and he was 44 with the New York Yankees, and he was number 9 with the Baltimore Orioles and the Oakland A's. And both numbers are retired with the A's and the Yankees. So this is Reggie Jackson's rookie card, and if you look on the back, Reggie Jackson. So this is his 1969 rookie card. So he was born May 18th, 1946. He's 74 years old now. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1993, and he's got no shortage of great years of playing baseball. He was a 14-time All-Star, 5-time world champion, AL MVP 1973, 2-time World Series MVP. Let's talk a little bit about the young Reginald Martinez Jackson. This is a 1971 Dell team stamp. New Mint 8. There's the back of it. He's a left-hander. His father was Martinez Jackson, and that's where he got most of his name. His dad was a Puerto Rican and played second base for the Newark Eagles in the Negro League. His mom, Clara, not much info on Clara, not much info at all, but that's where he got his African-American descent. She was African-American. His dad was Puerto Rican. They divorced when Reggie was 4 years old, and Reggie went to live with his dad. And he went to high school. He what do they call, lettered in 4 sports: football, baseball, basketball, and track. This is 1970 3D Reginald Jackson. I like the 3Ds. Those are pretty cool. Start grabbing cards here. In his junior year, he fractured 5 cervical vertebrae in his back. He spent 6 weeks in the hospital and a month in a neck cast. They didn't think he'd be able to walk again. He defied the odds and later on decided to play baseball because he didn't want to be a defensive back. 70. His senior year, his dad was arrested for bootlegging. He was recruited for football, but again, like I said, later on, he wanted to play baseball. So after a football practice, he saw the baseball coach at Arizona State University and said, "Hey, I want to play baseball." And they said, "Yeah, right." Well, he went to batting practice, still in his football gear, and hit a bunch of home runs in BP. They thought, well, okay, maybe, we can figure something out. He was allowed to practice because he was still a freshman at Arizona State University. But back in those days, they didn't allow the freshmen to be or participate on the team. And that was the NCAA rule, no freshmen. So he had to wait for his sophomore year. And his sophomore year, he replaced this guy. I realized it didn't have his rookie card, and so I'll be sharing that in a future mail day. But Rick Monday was drafted by the Kansas City Athletics, the first ever selected in the MLB draft. Rick Monday. So that's a beautiful Rick Monday card. And so he replaced Rick Monday at Arizona State University baseball team. And then in 1966, Reginald Martinez Jackson was drafted by the Oakland A's, or then the Kansas City A's. in 1966. So obviously he went through the minor leagues first before he made his debut. He was selected in 1966 as the second player selected in the MLB draft. Quite a lot of interesting controversy surrounded that draft because everybody knew that Reggie Jackson was the best player. But the New York Mets had the first round draft pick. And the controversy is the rumor was that Jackson had a white girlfriend. So the Mets denied choosing him because of the controversy surrounding Reginald Martinez Jackson. Later on, they claimed that it was a need because their pick, Steve Chilcott, a catcher, selected first in the 1966 New York Mets in the MLB draft, went nowhere. So they all wondered later on, why didn't you pick Reggie? Well, so it was said that it was a need, and it was also said that Reggie was dating a white girl, and that's why he wasn't selected. I got a lot of these 72s. There's an in action 72, really nice in action 72. When I go to these, when I used to go to card shows back when cards were affordable, you know, you could find multiples. And so what I was trying to accomplish was better centering on each and every one. And if there was like these two, I mean, look at those two, and top to bottom is completely different. Left to right is different. So it was always a challenge in these classics to find decently centered. Well, when you have multiple cards to pick from, it makes it a little easier. But a lot of times, Reggie Jackson cards, you pretty much get what you want unless you're shopping on eBay. So I have from his rookie card, I have every card by Topps through his career. And that includes some of them that I've gotten with the star cards. So Reggie Jackson went to a lot of all-white schools, and he was one of the few African Americans. So he found it challenging in Major League Baseball in the beginning because of the inability for black players to not to be racially segregated, staying in motels that they couldn't stay in. And he experienced a lot of that in the minor leagues. John McNamara was the guy that really helped Reggie through his minor league years, and literally told several of the motel managers that if you don't let Reggie in, we ain't going to stay here and we'll find somewhere else. And there was several times that he as a minor league manager had to defend his black players, which were very few then, and sleep on the bus. So I think that kind of education is great. There's the playoffs. There's his that knee dip and the turn of the ankle. Look at that front ankle. Crazy batting. Completion of his batting swing. And it pretty much stayed same throughout his entire career. So in his Hall of Fame speech, he did thank John McNamara for helping him through the minors and giving him some stability. But it also gave him sarcastic and a press that he really didn't love. So when Reggie finally made it to the bigs, this is a 75. This is a 75 mini. That's that 1973 Most Valuable Player. Pete Rose and Reggie Jackson. His MLB debut was June 9th, 1967. A doubleheader against the Cleveland Indians. There's a very rare 1975 hand-cut hostess, Reggie Jackson. Look for that one on eBay. You won't find it. Really tough card. I don't know why, but it's very tough. The doubleheader, the A's swept the Indians 2-0 and 6-0. And in the 5th inning of the second game, Jackson got his first hit in Major League Baseball, and it was a triple. Home run leaders: George Scott and John Mayberry. And Reggie Jackson. I first saw this card. I'd never heard of the two guys with him. Thought that was interesting. There's a SSPC 1975 Reggie Jackson. You know how you remember getting some of these cards or where you found them, that kind of thing. I would always go into card shops as I traveled around America and excuse me. And this one I got at the world's largest card store in California. They claim to have like 10 billion cards or something. I don't know. But yeah, I got this one there. I remember that, going in and looking around. Really nice owner. He actually ended up showing me around his warehouse full of cards. It's pretty amazing. And so the only way you could find a single was to go online to this little dusty computer in the front office there and dig through the internet or his inventory to find a card. And I found this one. Really nice example of that 75. There's a 76. And there's a 77. Not a 77, that's a 76 too. That's a Hostess 76. So we saw the 75. And this is the 76. I'm always looking for these. I think these are some of the neatest cards that they came out with. When I was looking through my 76, you can see it's got some stains on it. And these were on the bottom of Hostess products, or on the side. I think it was the bottom. And so they were hand cut. So a lot of them are miscut or damaged pretty bad. So I'm always looking for better examples of these. Kind of like the Hank Aaron Post cards that I showed off. So recently I picked this up, and this is a set of the 3 cards that go along with this 76 set, sorry. So this is the miscut one. You can see on the right hand side there, you can't see so these are cut very nicely. So there's a Larry Boa and a Steve Yeager, and then Reggie Jackson in the middle. So I got that to complete my collection there. And then I think you guys have seen my supers. This is a Reginald Jackson super. And we talk about 1973 MVPs. Well, there's a 1973 MVP. Pete Rose. And right behind him, Steve Garvey, sorry. All right, more Reggie. Now that gets into his very late. So this is another one of the iconic stances that a lot of the guys use. I actually went to a card shop in California where they had this painted on the front window. It didn't have actual representation of his face. It was just a silhouette of Reggie Jackson painted in the front window, and this is just a silhouette of him. And that's the 78. There's a 78 World Series. 79 All-Star with the Yankees. That was a tough day for me to see my favorite player get traded to the AL's most powerful teams, as well as the the love-hate relationship he had with Charlie O'Finley. So there's an 80, another very iconic Reggie Jackson knee down batting stance card. So we were talking about his first triple in the fifth in 1967, June 9th, MLB debut. So that would have been a Topps card I would like to have. They don't do Topps MLB debuts back then. And in 1968, they moved to Oakland from Kansas City. Basically, Charlie O'Finley realized that he needed a bigger market. And so he also created a bigger market. There's half of that FLYAER. The other side is the Ricky Henderson. That's when I just pulled the pack fresh. There's a Eclipse Mantle home run record. So in 68, they moved to Oakland, and that's when he decided he wanted to create really flashy uniforms. And that's why he created the green and gold. All this flashy, that's the green and gold with the vest style. That he wanted a lot of color, and he did a lot of things in Oakland that no one had ever done as far as marketing, and I think along with him and Al Davis and the Raiders, they did a lot for the commercialization and the monetary business side of being an owner, creating revenue by selling your players. And they did all kinds of stuff. Obviously, they couldn't bring an elephant into the stadium, which, if you're an A's fan, know that if you love elephants, you're an A's fan. Thanks, Dad and Rad. All right, 1987 Reggie. There's another 87 Reggie. There's a 25th anniversary collector's edition Reggie Jackson Kmart card. There's an 88 score. Reggie never made it to the 50 home run in one season club, but he did hit 563 total home runs, and he is in the 500 home run club. And I think one of my dream memorabilia pieces would be that 500 home run club picture with the autographs on it, and it's got all the greats on there. And Reggie's standing right next to Mickey Mantle. That's a really cool picture. If I can find a good one, I'll share it with you here. All-Star Hero. That's a 92 There's Reginald Jackson's induction. That card came out a lot later. Obviously, it happened in '93. Superpower. That's a 2001. There's an '07. I got a couple of these. Upper Deck Masterpieces. '07 Upper Deck Masterpieces. There's a triple thread. '08, numbered to 525. Reginald Jackson. There's the back of that one. Triple take. Averaged 1 home run every 9.8 World Series at bats and 1 per 17.5 in the regular season. Had swing from the heels power, and in his prime, speed and a superb arm. Athletics hired Joe DiMaggio to help him with his swing early in his career. Ring of Honor. Another Reggie. There's a Cooperstown refractor. As these get a little older, they do get a little prettier. They get a little more refractory. Just a few more. There's one of my favorites. Etched in Cooperstown, Reggie Jackson and Ricky Henderson. 2015 Hall of Fame induction. Panini Cooperstown baseball. Another Allen and Ginter. There's a refractor, 2016, and will be draft history. 1966 draft. Wonder if it says he was picked, the Mets owner, the first pick in the MLB draft, but when they selected a prep catcher, the Athletics pounced on Jackson at number 2. After arriving at Arizona State on a football scholarship, Reggie had become a top baseball prospect when he took All-American accolades as a slugging center fielder. That's right. There's another refractor, Reggie Jackson. There's a Topps Gold label. There's a 2017 reprint. There's a rookie card reprint. I wish I could find that original one like in that condition. Well, should I say, I wish I could afford an original in that condition. There's a real fancy schmancy Reggie Jackson from 2018. And Don Ross. There's a Reggie flashback. There's a short print from 2019 Gypsy Queen. Lights on. Reggie Stars Curtain Falls. There's a Faces of the Franchise. Mark McGwire, Reggie Jackson, and Chris Davis. Mark McGwire broke Reggie Jackson's rookie home run record when Mark McGwire was a rookie. And then Chris Davis hit 50 home runs early on in his career when he was still with the team before he came to the A's. I can't think of it right now. I think it's Milwaukee. Reggie Jackson and Bryce Harper. Long ball legend. 539-foot home run. And then Reggie Jackson. Salute to Reggie Jackson. Okay, so this is a 5-card set. There's the Orioles card. There's the A's card. After he came back. So there's the Angels and there's the Yankees. Tribute cards. 5-card set that Score and made in 1988. 88 PLYAER. And then I got a couple, one more set. The comic ball cards. Looney Tunes and Reggie Jackson. There's Reggie Jackson and Nolan Ryan. Original story and illustration by the Dover Boys. Slugger Sam. The only Slugger Sam I knew swept the locker room. Burger ball. Okay. Oh. Reggie played for which 4 major league teams? Well, I know that. That's the only thing I haven't found. Whoop! There goes Reggie. When I was a kid, I went to an A's game and they passed out kind of like a drawing of some of the players back in the 70s. And I got a Reginald picture and I remember hanging it on my wall, so proud of it. I got in a Reggie Jackson black and white print of his face. And I've been looking and looking and looking on YouTube, and I've yet to find it. So, if any of you Reggie fans out there know what I'm talking about, I'm still looking for that picture. So, this is the history and the beginning stages of Reginald Martinez Jackson. The late note, Reggie hit 47 home runs in 1969. And the press was pretty upset about it because he was on track to match the Maris Ruth home run race. He was on track to get either 60 or 61. He ended up only getting 47. But the press was hard on Reggie then, and that's why he became so callous in later years against the press, because his first and second season, the second season, here he is hitting a bunch of home runs, and again, just like the criticism that Hank Aaron got going through all that, same thing. So they would. This one reporter, every time he saw him, would ask Reggie if he was dating a white girl named Ruth Maris. Are you dating a white girl named Ruth Maris? So, pretty crazy. And I wanted to end it on that note. That doesn't change my opinion of Reggie. I'm glad he's in the Hall of Fame. I recently got to go to New York and see the Hall of Fame, and that was an amazing trip. And if you ever get a chance, it is in the middle of nowhere, upstate New York. And that's where I was working. And so I just want to thank the Lord for directing me up there and to go to the Baseball Hall of Fame and to see 2 of my favorite players, obviously Reggie Jackson and the GOAT, Hank Aaron. So I'm still trying to figure out how to do all this editing. One day I want to show you some of those pictures from the Hall of Fame. I think it'd be awesome if I could share that. So in the sense, thanks for hanging around. I appreciate your time. I hope you enjoyed a little history and storytelling of one of my favorite players, Reginald Martinez Jackson, all we know as Reggie Jackson. This is a storybook in the history of life. And this is the story of Reginald Martinez Jackson. This is Charlie's Cards. I appreciate you comment and like this video. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. We've got more of this great content coming. And if you're a YouTube channel and you make videos and then you subscribe to my channel, I will go check you out and subscribe right back. As part of the card community, we appreciate things like that. So if you're a YouTuber and you come across this, check it out and comment, like, and subscribe. It helps us keep going. And the card community will show their love right back. So I appreciate your time. Charlie's Cards, over and out.